Hallo allemaal, ik sta op het punt om in het bedrijf Hedgehog te gaan. Dat is een bedrijf met Nederlandse roots. Er komt dadelijk namelijk een handelsdelegatie van Nederlandse bedrijven die in Australië aan het kijken zijn of ze eventueel handel kunnen drijven met bedrijven uit Australië. Het is een transportbedrijf en we zijn ook wel benieuwd wat ze eigenlijk allemaal gaan doen. Voor ons ook iets nieuws, want ik ben nog nooit meegegaan met een handelsdelegatie en ik neem aan dat jullie ook nooit mee zijn gegaan. Dus spannend. Oké, gaan we kijken.
So we're based here in Laverton in the western part of Melbourne.
Yeah.
We're in a 10,000 square metre shed here.
Yeah.
We also have two other facilities, one in South Australia, which we're about to move into a larger facility there of around 2,500 square metres. And we've just opened up our first depot in Brisbane too, which is about 2,500 square metres as well.
So, introduction, who are we? So, we like to refer to ourselves as creating the future of logistics services, but more importantly we'd like to inspire business to think differently about their existing logistics needs and logistics processes. So it's all about the inspiration that we deliver in market around doing things differently. So as you've probably heard, I don't know whether that's come through in any of the presentations, the Australian logistics sector is quite traditional. There's an aging kind of workforce, so they're quite traditional. With that comes a traditional way of thinking, where we're trying to kind of push the boundaries and challenge the status quo effectively. We're a family business with Dutch roots, so I'm Dutch. I've lived in Holland for 20 years and moved to Australia. Richard is my brother-in-law, so our wives are our sisters. That's dangerous as well sometimes. But Richard is actually first generation Australian, but has Dutch parents that emigrated to Australia. The Dutch are very well known for innovation, driving, and I can certainly see that with myself. I just want to do things differently and continuously change. There's, combined with an Australian kind of can-do attitude, there's a real opportunity for Dutch companies to kind of get somewhere really quickly, because the Australian mentality in general is very much focused around, just give it a go. Let's try, and if we fail, let's learn from it and do things differently the next time.
So Spotlight Retail Group, they have 150 stores in Australia, big box retail. So their smaller stores are sort of 1,200 square metre footprint. That's kind of roughly the smallest size, and it goes up from there. They were going through a cycle. They were transiting through transport providers. So a big percentage of their product is sourced in China, manufactured in China. They went through the process that a lot of Australian companies do. They bring it all into their distribution centre, which is 700 metres up the road here, and they cross-dock it and deliver it out to their 150 stores around Australia. They used all of the big players, and they'd gone through the cycle. And I was working with Seva for a few years, and I got to know them through my time at Seva, and I moved on from Seva, and then they eventually moved on from Seva, and they were about to go back to Toll, which is where they started. And I sat down and I said, look guys, it's time to do something different. You're constantly looking for change, you're looking for cost reduction, you're looking for efficiency, you're looking for innovation, but all you're doing is going to the same companies with the same solutions and asking them to do something different for you. If you want something different, you've got to do something different. So we convinced them that the right way to go was to build their own technology platform and to dip into that tier 2 and tier 3 market space. So we spent a year with them, and we built the software, the distribution management software. So now they own their own process effectively. They own their own process, they manage their own information, and they link in using the technology with the distribution management technology into various providers. And they've now got 18 providers around the country, but they manage that entire network with one guy sitting in their distribution centre up the road. So that was the foundation of how we started the business and where we came from. And then they said to us, well, if you're so smart, how about you do this for us, and how about you do this and do some warehousing and do some transport? and that's how we began.
So you're doing warehousing for them as well now?
We do a little, and we do some cross docking for them. Yeah. So effectively, you know, in creating that solution, we solved a number of challenges for them. One, they own the process, they own the information, therefore they own the visibility. So, you know, for example, the greatest example is the Townsville store. The store in Townsville, they're famous within Spotlight. So the Townsville store, one of the remote stores in the business, he used to have the guy at the back of the store had a local arrangement with the transport provider, and they could never work out at Spotlight why the inventory in the store didn't match what was being sent up, because according to their systems, the guy had receipted all the stock and it was all there and it should have all been, but they didn't sell any of the products and they couldn't figure out what was going on. It's because they had all of this product stored at the transport provider locally. No one knew. It was the guy at the back of the store had a relationship, and you know, that was how it worked. That's how things work in Australia. There's local relationships, and mate, I'm a bit busy today, don't deliver my stock. Yeah, no worries, pal, I'll just leave it here. So
something else.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it.
The CEO is expecting to see that on inventory, so I'll just receipt it in anyway.
Exactly right. Exactly right. So you know, now we've created this environment where the product is auto receipted, scan receipted, and it can't be receipted other than via the send. That's correct. So in the back of stores, they can see product that's flowing to them. So what it allows them to do is to plan labour a lot better, because they know when it's coming. We discuss with them the fact that it should be the same volume every day, rather than one day 10 pallets, the next day 2, then 10, then 2. Now it's 6 pallets, 6 pallets, 6 pallets, so that the store can plan their labour. The volumes are consistent, which is better for the transport task. And it's driven a lot of efficiency in their environment. We also looked at the material handling units, and we'll show you some of that outside. And we made some significant changes into that environment. And the ultimate result was they own the process, they have the visibility, the on-time performance improved, the stock availability improved significantly, and from a logistics perspective, it saved them 25% on their logistics spend. And their logistics spend, you know, is not insignificant. It's not an insignificant spend when you consider 150 stores at an average of about 5 pallets per store per day, every day of the week. It's a big spend.
So as you can see behind us here, this is the Spotlight cross-dock operation. So there's about 800 odd pallets sitting here on the floor. We have about 7,500 pallet locations as well that we store stock for other customers also.
Okay. And can I also stock something as a personal, as a really small business?
Yes, we actually have customers as small as, we only have 40 pallets for them, and they will actually rotate on a regular basis. Up to, we've currently got some stock here for the Just Group, and we've got about 2,000 pallets for those guys.
Okay, but also just transporting one package of flyers. Are you doing that as well?
Yes, we can do that. Obviously, we just customise the solution that best fits your needs, so whether or not it's one parcel or it's 20 pallets.
Okay.
The other thing, guys, I wanted to share with you, you probably looked at these ugly looking orange forklifts. They're not painted that colour because of hedgehog colours at all. That's actually how they came. So it just sort of matches our... The reason we use that type of forklift called a bendy, which you can see why they call it a bendy, it actually flexes in the middle, is our racking that we use is very narrow aisle. So I think I heard someone say that they went to a Woolworths distribution centre earlier, is that right? Yeah. You would have actually seen wider aisles and a different type of forklift used. The reason why we've done this, our biggest cost in our business currently is this building, right? So to maximise that cost, we're actually able to get, just in that space there's 7,500 pallet locations. If we had went to a...
the width of one of those aisles?
1.9. Conventional racking with reach truck operations is about 3.1 metres. You can probably get away with 3 metres, but it's extremely tight. We lose a little bit of productivity because the forklifts are a little bit slower, but we're actually able to get a lot more product into the building, which basically uses the asset a lot better for us.
Okay, so how important is it that the transmission is here?
Look, it was fantastic for them to be here, and it's great to
share experiences, particularly because of the breadth of expertise within the Dutch marketplace around logistics and the logistics task. To be able to share some ideas and some thoughts, particularly with the progressive organisations within a progressive environment, about how to better do the logistics task. So for us, it's great to open those lines of communication and to have a platform to share experiences. So it was fantastic to be involved.